In this video, I'm sharing my nighttime routine, especially while I'm in quarantine, because I hear so many people saying that they're waking up with like no motivation, hard to get out of bed, and super lazy because they don't have to go somewhere. So this is what I've been doing for years. It's completely healed my insomnia. And you know, Maya says a lot of energy, and it starts with taking care of myself the night before. So before we get into it, I would be so grateful if you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and then like this video because it helps more than you could possibly know. My dream is to help 1 million women this year, and I need your help to do it. So my nighttime routine. Now, I've been doing morning routines and nighttime routines really solid for about 2 years, and it's been the game changer. So most women that see me think that Lani's biggest wins must be when she does these workshops all over the world with hundreds of women, and when she makes, tens and thousands, high five figures a month, that must be her greatest accomplishment, the money she's made. And when I'm on Instagram and I get 30,000 views on a video, that people think that it's these really big moments where I'm getting attention from outside. But truly, my biggest wins and the reason I am so embodied and happy and confident and actually making an impact and I'm able to be myself no matter what's happening outside are because of my daily rituals. I am not any more special than anyone else, and it sure as shit was not easier for me to get to where I am today. But I am who I am. I'm this woman because of my daily habits, because of my daily rituals, and because of my beliefs. So the ego always wants to find this really simple way out. It's easier for Lani. I'm not even going to do it. And there's always an excuse. Obviously she was born rich, or she has her boyfriend saved her, or whatever. But I'm literally telling you that the most important thing you could possibly do are create these habits for success, for love, for happiness, for peace. And the only way you create a habit is repetition. You can't do something once. The example I always give is I'm sure you would not watch a YouTube video with a woman with a six-pack or a banging body and do one 20-minute workout on a free YouTube video and then be where's my perfect body? Where's my six-pack? Why didn't I lose 50 pounds? And that's just crazy. So spirituality and your self-love muscle is the same. So the biggest bullshit is you weren't born with it. It's a habit. Nobody creates a habit unless they practice every day. The only way we get badass at something is repetition. The way humans learn things is we show up, we practice, and we train. And you are not the exception, sis. So I actually spoke to a woman and she was just, I am so miserable. I'm so, unhappy. It's so much work to change and do the morning routine and do the evening routine. I'm you're already doing a morning and an evening routine. It's just making you feel like shit. So it's not I'm giving you a stack of law books and being you have to study for 100 years and you have to be miserable to be happy. You already are doing a morning routine and a night routine. So maybe your night routine right now is fucking scrolling your brains apart and finding all these photoshopped fake bitches on Instagram and then feeling really jealous, or going through old texts of an ex-boyfriend. Dear God, horrifying. But you're already using strategies. You already have a routine, and that's creating the way that you feel now. So instead of thinking of it as oh my God, this is so much work. Lani does all this stuff and she has a night routine. Oh no, I have to do more. You'll never ever get any great results from that. It's well, I'm already doing a night routine anyway. It's just not serving me and I don't feel the way that I want to feel. So I'm just going to trade out, put me in coach, take the negative habits out and put the positive habits in. So I started, the first step in my morning routine is I have a nighttime drink, and it's my magic sleepy drink. I had insomnia. I literally remember being 11 and being I would be looking at the clock and I was super excited, but at that moment my mind was running and running and running, and I didn't obviously learn this until a few years ago. But this is something that's always been affected. And so especially when I got stressed out, when I left my marriage, I didn't sleep for months, and that really affected everything. And I ended up so depressed, so sleep deprived, and I was suicidal after that. So I understand the insomnia. And anyway, I love just waking up feeling super rested. Do I wake up every morning with perfect little bluebirds resting on my nipples and like, backflipping out of bed and do a split twerk. No, some mornings I'm like, fuck, I'm sore. Oh man, I could feel a little sleepy right now. I had such a long day and I've got another one ahead of me. But I choose to tap into that, and I remind myself, girlfriend, you did your routine last night. You kicked ass, like you were in your body. You got a full 8 hours of sleep, so let's go. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're not tired. Like you can do this. So my magic sleepy drink is 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and it obviously needs to be the raw, unpasteurized, unfiltered with the mother in it, not the Heinz shit. That's not gonna help you. So I do 2 tablespoons of that. I put it in a mug like it's a tasty tea drink, and I get the water really hot, and then I put a tablespoon of honey, and I like to use organic honey. And so that's my magic sleepy drink. And I do that probably 30 minutes before bed. And that has helped so much. I actually heard it from Tim Ferriss, and he used to have gnarly insomnia, and he's like, I don't know why this works, but it does. Like I've had friends and himself who's taken sleep pills and taken every pill on the market, but he's like, this just magically works. And I was like, it's good enough for me. And it's totally helped. So that's the first thing I do. And just it gives me, it's like just this warm, comforting, like he was saying something about the honey mixed with the ACV. It helps. So that's my first part of my nighttime routine. Now, the second thing I do is my breathing. I taught yoga for a very long time. And the pranayama part of it, the breath, like one of my things that I'm stressed out, like I used to not be able to take a deep breath. And this started like when I was 19. My boyfriend at the time was like, are you mad at me? Because I was like, and I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, you just like, I'm like, dude, I can't take a deep breath. Like this would freaking happen to me starting so young. And then I like specifically in that instance, I went on a holiday with my dad. We went to the river, show your tits. And I fully came back and I could breathe again. And I was like, wow, okay. Obviously that was stress related. Like, and I could see this happening all through my life. So that for me, it's like that feeling of like being trapped and suffocated and like so overwhelmed and I see a lot of women yawning, and I used to do that. Like I would fully yawn, and it was like my body was just trying to take more oxygen in. So side note, I've had women be like, oh, yawning is like so spiritual. I'm like, you have no energy. Like you have no fucking energy coming out of you. That's not spiritual to be like, because you can't breathe. So don't fool yourself, sis. Like, yeah, of course, when we're breathing, we're getting more oxygen to the brain, but yawning because you can't catch a breath and you have really low dog shit energy is not spiritual. Okay. So I do my breathing, and I do 3 sets of 10, and I do my belly breathing. So on the inhale, my belly goes out, which is like counterintuitive and opposite of what we think. And on the exhale, my belly comes in. And so after the first set of 10, I hold it and I fill myself up like a balloon, and I squeeze all of my oxygen up into my brain. So animals don't do this, right? It's us connecting to consciousness, getting oxygen to the part of the brain that normally doesn't. And I hold for 15 seconds, then I exhale and I do my second set. On the inhale, the belly goes out. On the exhale, it comes in. And again, I breathe in like a big balloon, filling up with as much air as I can possibly fill up. And I hold for 15 seconds and I exhale, and I do my third set. So I sometimes do that in bed and I just can count my own breath. Sometimes I can do it like after I brush my teeth if I'm sitting up, and sometimes I am laying down. So that's the second part of my nighttime routine that sets me up for an epic fucking morning the next day, for an incredible night of sleep. So not waking up in the middle of the night with anxiety, or if I do have to wake up to go wee, I can just go right back to bed because I just come back to focusing on my breathing, and I don't let my mind run wild. My freaking ego is not the driver, that evil little shit. I am the driver. Love is the driver. My heart is the driver. And the third part of my nighttime routine is a meditation. And so I have several different ones that I go between, and just like really the most important part of this is, yes, you'll be using an electronic device, but I do not go on my phone and scroll and like do emails and work like up until the second before bed. I tried that before. My mind does not stop racing. Like I will not take calls like that go, randomly like once in a while because I'm traveling all the time. But in my schedule, like I at least don't go on my phone for an hour and a half before bed. So I'm not answering emails. I don't answer clients' messages. I don't go into my group coachings, I'm not working and I'm not scrolling through Instagram and Facebook. I give my brain a rest because I know that everything I take in, I'm planting a little seed in my subconscious. So even if I'm like, oh, like I'm looking for something positive, if there is something that like, because you can't control what people are posting and putting out there, or you can't control if you get like a shitty email, right? Like you think you might be, oh, I'm just working, it's fine, but we can't, you don't know what the heck is going on. And I don't want to plant this negative seed inside of my head of like, oh, fuck, this thing happened, or like something really crazy. I can totally feel negative energy from posts. So I'm on it. I unfollow. If I feel anything negative, it's like no judgment. I'm not down for that because that plants something in my psyche and my subconscious. So again, if you have to go on your phone last thing before bed, you're addicted. So let's just call it what it is. And it's just not, the bottom line is it doesn't make you feel good. It's not good for you. And having that last thing of like stress or work before bed, just it sits really uneasy. And when I did do that, I would wake up frequently in the night and I'd have a hard time going to bed. And then I'd wake up dragging ass and super tired. So I do my meditations on electronics. However, I have them downloaded so I can have them on airplane mode. So I'm not seeing notifications pop up. Like I just don't want my heart to get that, because you see like, even good messages give you that like shoot to the brain like cocaine, like, oh, look at all these likes. So I don't want to see any notifications. I don't want to see anything. I just want to be present in my body, feeling my heartbeat, connected, and just really, truly my one intention before nighttime is to just completely expand, open up, and receive love and be totally present in the moment. So let's get really clear that we're not like scrolling between the meditations. And again, I switch between a couple of those. So I have them downloaded so I don't have to it's just on airplane mode. And when I'm laying in bed at night, sometimes I will journal it out, but every single night I take feedback from the day. And I have like these moments, they're like love moments, they're fun moments, they're playful moments, they're gratitude moments, and I actively seek out, it's like a recording in my mind, and I'm like, wow, pause on the 3 highlights of the day. So the last thing that happens before I am totally like, okay, I'm going to bed, is I have focused on 3 moments during the day that were fucking awesome. And before you reprogram your brain, so the old Lani, I would only focus on like a million things during the day that went wrong, that I didn't like. Oh my God. Ugh. And so I actually just changed my focus. Because if you're laying in bed and I'm like, okay, I want you to tell me all the times during the day that you saw like the color black and like you would be actively seeking the next day for black, and you'd see black everywhere. And so we see what we look for. So instead of looking for all the things that were wrong during the day, I shifted that and I look for all the things that were right during the day, that were awesome, that were fun and playful. And I plant these 3 seeds in my brain. I just see like these little seeds planting in my brain, and then they get watered while I sleep in my subconscious because I've planted them, and I wake up and I see these like 3 flowers coming out of my brain, and I'm like, awesome. So that's part of the way that I'm like, girlfriend, you bloomed, you slept, you did your thing last night, you did the best that you could, and let's go hop up. So that's my nighttime routine, especially important now we're in quarantine. It's like a schedule is so important because we thrive off of like feeling proud of ourselves. Like if you sit on the couch all fucking day and get nothing done, oh my God, that's the worst feeling ever. Like I'm so fucking lazy and I get anything done. So we thrive off growing and feeling proud of ourselves. So a routine, dude, you might think only a 5-year-old needs a routine, but that's not true. We need routines because I guarantee that if you are struggling right now, you've let it get away from you, you're freaking scrolling your brains all night, and it's really affecting your sleep and then your mornings, and then it's just feeding this gnarly negative feedback loop. So let's disrupt that loop. Let's simplify it. You only have 3 things to do. Anybody can do this. A 5-year-old can do this. If you want to feel better, then you'll put some effort in. Because when I want something, I always make it happen, right? You can do this. Anybody can do this. And it will, like, you just go game on and commit to this for 7 days, you're going to see, I mean, already like in the first and second mornings, I hear women straight away after one of my meditations and one of my breathing are like, oh my God, I feel so amazing. So it can happen really fast, but you have to commit. You can't, if you're put in half-assed effort, you get in half-assed results. No one's coming to your house and doing this for you, so let that one go, right? There's nobody that comes and puts a cape on me and is like, oh, sorry that you're human and you feel like shit. Here's the magic cape. And it's like, oh, life is so much easier for me because I have this magic cape. That's bullshit. I show up, I put the effort in, I stick to my routine, and I'm committed. I ain't perfect, but I am committed and I am showing up every day. So I do I'm going to do a free workshop, and it's something that I've just been doing since we've been quarantined. I've been doing a free healing embodiment meditation and completely sharing energy and sharing how I tap into Mother Earth and how I connect. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have extra energy, and I know that it is just fucking amazing. It's like everything that I send out comes back 10 times full. So I'm like, all I'm doing is sharing love and what works for me. And it's like, boo, 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 like all these epic little heart Cupid arrows just like shooting out. And the incredible thing is they all come back. But I know that meditation is one of the ways that Mother Earth comes through me. And so I'm sharing these live healing meditations. And at the end of the workshop, I always ask, like, what was the best part? What did you love the most? Like, what's going to change your life? And it's like the meditation. So many women will show up and be like, I'm here for the meditation. When's the meditation? So if you're ready for and I get messages the next day being like, I was crying. I already feel better. This is amazing. So all of the information is in the description. Click that and get signed up ASAP so you can join in these incredible women. I mean, we have over 1,000 women signing up, and it's just so beautiful to be connected to positivity and love. I mean, there's nothing better than that. So get that signed up ASAP. Again, if you loved this video, please hit the like button. That helps so much. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I've also done more of these videos. So if you need help with your morning routine, check out this video here. I'm sharing my morning routine in quarantine. And if you are feeling lazy and half-assing and then you've got to watch my video on how to thrive while you're in quarantine. Thanks for listening. Have an amazing day. See you soon. Yee.